On today's vlog, we're going to do another trade series here. Got a couple of them going on right now. This one right here, we're kind of catching it on like either the second or the third machine. I can't remember before this machine if I traded the machine before that one or not. But I'll let y'all know in the next clip when I have a little bit more time to research. I don't have time right now because this thing's going about an hour and 20-ish minutes away. Asked the wife if she wanted to have a nice little ride this evening, go get something to eat while we're out, drop this thing off, get 300 bucks, and bring home a Scotch riding mower that apparently is in pretty good condition from what I see in the picture, and just needs hopefully carburetor or fuel work, one of the two. I don't know if it's got a Kohler or a Briggs on it. We'll find out when we get there. But overall, this one right here, the story behind this Troy-built Bronco, I did not film it originally, but I did get it in a trade for a Craftsman LT1000 that I sold, and I'll let y'all know the numbers on that, how much I made with that trade here in just a minute when I get all the numbers in front of me. But this machine, I did a quick flip because the deck was pretty bad on it, but it still ran, drove, and cut, and so I think I listed it for like $250 or $300, and then I sold it outright to the guy. The deck ended up going on it, but he had another machine that is down here. It's a yard machine, so I had a locked up engine, but the deck was great on it, so he put that deck on it. A little while later, this thing stopped starting because the starter solenoid nut came off, like just came off. I don't know why, but thought it was, I guess I must have not tightened it good enough whenever I had it here, or maybe it's just I don't remember if I had to put a starter solenoid in it or not, but either way, I got both of those mowers, so this mower with the newer deck on it, plus the one with the locked up engine, plus $300 for a Craftsman YT3000 that I did show on the channel. I bought for $250. Flipped it pretty quickly within an afternoon. Had to put a carb on it, sharpen the blades, just give it a good cleaning, and it was ready to go. So we'll break down all the numbers. We'll start the sequence at the very beginning. I just wanted y'all to see the beginning of this machine on trade before I send it on. I'll show it to you in the back of the van as well. See what we get with the Scots. See what we do with the yard machines. I do have a deck. If I can get the engine freed up, maybe. So this may be a multi-month process, but we're going to see through trading, how much money we made, how much money we spent to start out with, and all of that good stuff. I think I remember everything. I'm going to double check myself, give you all the numbers before we get started, and I'll show you the Scots that we get on trade after this. Alright guys, so the trade deal is done. It's the next day. I got the Scotch rider behind me, and believe it or not, even with how tall this seat is, it fits perfectly in the back of this caravan, which is fantastic. It was an hour and a half or hour and 20 minutes one way. The wife and I made it a great date night. We stopped at a local steakhouse in Zebulon on the way back. Man, it was good. But regardless, we're not going to count that in this. But I went back and researched a little bit. I remember this trade sequence. It started with a Craftsman LT1000. I picked up for $75. It had sat for a little while. The seat was in pretty rough shape, and he said it used oil, but I can't remember what I had to do to fix that. I may have the video on that machine, but I think it needed a head gasket, if I remember correctly. It needed a head gasket, and a few other things. Got that all fixed. Guy wanted to trade the Troy-built that y'all just saw in the previous clip. That Troy-built had a bad deck on it. So I told him $400 plus the Troy-built because it needed a little bit of work. And so I got that, and then let's say $400 plus the Troy built. So we subtract the $75 that we started out with. So I'm currently got $325 in the pocket plus the Troy built mower. And then when I sold the Troy built mower outright, I did not trade it for anything, but I'm still going to count it as part of the sequence, mostly because it came back to me, right? And it looks like I sold it for $300, which so not too bad. So well, we have $325 in the pocket plus another $300. Let's enter into the chat a Craftsman LT1000 mower. I picked it up for $250 and fixed a couple of things on it. Got the Troy built back in a trade, and so now I have the Troy built again, $625, and I sold the Craftsman for $300 plus trading back a Troy built and a yard machines that has a locked up engine. So the Troy built that was in the van in the previous clip, I got traded back twice, which is crazy. And so we add the $50 difference between what I bought the Craftsman for and then the trade deal. So we are up to $675 now in the pocket. Then trading this for the Scots here, I've got another $300 in that. We could talk about gas costs and stuff too, but we may kind of add some of the expenses at the end. That YT4000 Craftsman, I had to put a carburetor on, and that's about it. A couple of small things like sharpening blades and cleaning it up. So not really a lot of money into that one. Not really a ton of work into the others. Now the Troy built with the rotted deck, I put the deck off of the yard machines that had the locked up engine on. So they're all kind of one and the same. So we are at what, $975 in the pocket off of a $75 mower that I originally spent, or paid $75 for. And we have this Scots here that I'll get out of the van, show y'all, and we'll see carburetor wise what it might need. It does turn over. He showed me that it turns over. It has compression. So here's that Scots mower. It will turn over. It's just not firing for some reason. So I don't know if it's a an issue with spark or it could be water in the fuel as well, but I'll make a video on it. But I'll get it all cleaned up and see what materializes if we get a trade deal or something along those lines off of it. Alright, those Scots mowers ready to go. Spent the afternoon on it. The biggest thing it needed was a drive belt. The drive belt was the worst part about it. These drive belts are a little bit of a bear to replace on these. You got to take a bunch of brackets off. But I had one here, which is good. This is actually a 46-inch Husqvarna belt. And I did not film this, so this is the only time you really see this on the channel unless it comes back for some reason. But it drives good. I'll crank it up. Somebody had bypassed all the safety switches, which I'm not really a fan of, but let's see. A little bit of an exhaust leak, but it does run, drive, and cut. Drives really good with the new belt. Like, almost too good. Then the blades. I just washed it, so it was a little bit wet. probably sell for about $350. So if I can get $350 for this, or if I get a trade, then we'll continue this series. But if not, then that'll be the end of it. I think it'll sell for $350. It may sell for $300. Either way, it's going to be more than what I could have gotten outright for the Troy build. Alright, so that's Scott, sold within 24 hours to a guy that I've sold a couple of items to before. Listed it for $350 because I had the deck issues with a little bit of rot and stuff kind of around the spindle tower, but the spindle tower was still sturdy, so I would have priced it around $400 to $450 if it didn't have that. I ended up selling it to the guy for $300. It runs, it drives, it cuts. The drive belt is nice and strong. That thing will pop wheelies any day of the week now. Did not get a trade for it this time, so this has ended. Now the Scott's mower ended up just having water in the fuel, and a couple of other issues. The biggest one was the drive belt. The drive belt was the most time consuming. I already had a belt here that was provided by one of my Amazon / YouTube lawn equipment partners, so I don't have any money in the belt. Drained the water out of the fuel, adjusted the valves, did a couple of other small things in the drive belt, and I sold it for $300. So what overall we've got, I'm still adding it up because I don't have it cumulative here. $325, $625, $675, $975, $1,275 off of what originally was a $75, and that's money in the pocket now, before parts. And parts, say, and transport, let's just say that was maybe $120 or so. So what did I say, $1,275, and we just say that I probably cleared $1,150 out of this. So out of a mower that was $75, that if I'd have just sold outright with no trades, it probably would have brought $450. So I'll take it. Again, if I have more of these sequences, and I've got one more running right now on a couple of machines off of a free Craftsman LT1000, and we'll see how that all pans out. If I keep getting these trade trains where there's like 3 to 5 mowers involved, I'll keep posting videos like this if y'all enjoy a little bit behind the numbers, and also as to why I emphasize why trading items is such a big thing, because it cuts down on having to search for machines to flip. You always have an inventory, and your inventory can get better, especially if you do good trades. These trades these are mostly low-end mowers, lower-end mowers, under $500 or so, except for that Craftsman YT3000. But still, hopefully it gives you an idea that if you are doing mower repairs and mower flipping, yes, your backyard will eventually look like this if you're not careful. But especially if you're just starting out, or just have a couple of mowers here and a couple of mowers there, and you need to get inventory up, trading is a great option, not only to get your inventory up, but also make a decent bit more money than if you'd have just sold one mower outright. Time, again, is another factor, but still, most of these machines I didn't really have a lot of time into, and so that helps a lot as well. I really do appreciate y'all watching this vlog. Hopefully y'all found it interesting upon the trade aspect of it. And if I get any more, I'll sneak the videos in to a Wednesday or Sunday vlog or a small engine repair video, and let y'all know if I can outdo myself, or so to speak. But this is the second one where I've taken either a free mower or a mower I bought for less than $100 and turned it around and had over $1,000 in the pocket. So I do appreciate y'all watching, and I'll catch y'all on the next video.